Hello and welcome. This video is going to show you how to run a two-way ANOVA using the data for activity 9.1. Now I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, so I'm not going to give you a lot of interpretation information. So I am going to be using some terms that I'm going to assume you're somewhat familiar with based on the reading. Again, this is just meant to show you what to click and where to find some information in jamovi. All right, so here's the data in here for activity 9.1. First thing you want to do is create your value labels. So for the drug variable, double click on that, and variable 1 is drug A, and level 2, I should say, is drug B. And then you want to do the same thing for gender. The code 1 is male and the code 2 is female. And now we have our value labels in, so we're ready to go ahead and produce our output. We'll click on ANOVA and then ANOVA again. Our dependent variable is memory score, and so that goes into the dependent variable box. That's what we're measuring. Our two factors are the drug, people getting either drug A or drug B, and then what gender they are, either they're male or female. We want to get omega squared, as we did in the previous chapter. The next thing we want to check on is the postdoc. Well, actually, before I do that, I'll just quickly point out, you'll notice that you have three F values over here, again, because you have three effects that you're testing. You have the main effect of drug. Is drug A or drug B better? You have the main effect of gender. Do males or females score higher on the memory test? And then you have the interaction between those two factors. Is one type of drug better for one type of gender than the other? And so you can see these F values and you can interpret the P values and the omega squares. We need to go ahead and do some, it's called postdoc test, but we really need to do more analysis to interpret these results more fully. So you're going to click on each of these factors, the main effect of drug, the main effect of gender, and the interaction, and that's going to give you these postdoc tests. This is where you're going to find the information you need for the main effect of drug, comparing drug A to drug B. This is where you're going to find information comparing the main effect of gender, comparing males to females on memory score, and then you have their p-value. Of course, we still want D and the confidence interval around D, so we get those tacked on. We don't want the Tukey correction for the p-value, so we want to unclick that and instead click on the no correction. And then, of course, down here, by putting this interaction factor in here, this is where we're getting all possible comparisons. So this part can be a little bit confusing, so I'll spend a little bit of time just pointing out how to read these lines, right? So this top line is comparing the people who got drug A across gender. So the males who got drug A compared to the females who got drug A, right? And then this next line down here would be the males who got drug A compared to the males who got drug B. And this would compare the males who got drug A to the females who got drug B. It's just comparing all possible comparisons. And then down here, the very bottom, it's comparing the males who got drug B to the females who got drug B. So again, it's comparing all possible comparisons. You have the T's, you have the non-corrected p-values, you have the D's for each, and the confidence interval for each. But we're not quite done, of course. We want to get graphs. Graphs are going to be really, really helpful for you to understand how to interpret these things. And the way to get three graphs, we need a graph for the main effect of drug, we need a graph for the main effect of gender, and we need a graph for the interaction. And this is how you do that. So you click on drug and you pop it over, and that's going to give you a graph that you can interpret for the main effect of drug. Now we want to do more, so we click on add a term, And then you want to pop gender over there. And then you're going to have a gender one. But we also need the interaction. And the way you do that is you add a new term. You can click on drug and then pop it over. And then it's now gender's highlighted. You can pop that over as well. And now you've got the interaction.